friends, it's Jasmine, and I hope that you all are doing well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a witchy content creator of sorts, amongst other things, and all of my links are down below if you are interested in following me elsewhere. If you are a returning subscriber, it's really good to see you back. I hope that you're doing all right. I hope that you're taking care of yourself and that you're living loud and in color. So in today's video, I want to talk about the sort of aspect of the three brothers of the harvest. And this is something that is kind of pervasive throughout the American folkloric traditional sort of current, but I don't think that it's exclusive to in any way, as I have engaged with and worked with, in some capacity, these brothers well before I came into this tradition. I'm filming this, it is like around the fall equinox, and I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be releasing this on YouTube. All of my videos go to my Patreon first. That's one of the perks, is early releases. So I might drop this around like end of October, beginning of November. I'm not really sure. In case you're new here, I have been a practicing witch for like give or take about a decade. And for the past 2.5-ish, going on 3 years, I have been training within the Red Thread Academy. And there's a link down below for the Red Thread Academy. Shout out to the Red Thread Academy. But the Red Thread Academy is a online traditional American folkloric witchcraft academy that is self-paced and has been really enriching for my practice. And I bring that up because my relationship with the three brothers of the harvest has been greatly enhanced and developed by my work in the academy. So as traditional witches, consorting and communicating and pacting with spirits is a really big part of our practice. And from witch to witch, their relationship with spirits can look very different. I want you to keep in mind that everything that I am about to say is coming from, one, my own personal experiences, but also the experiences and knowledge that I have gleaned through training and working in this tradition. So the three brothers of the harvest, like, who are they? What is this sort of concept? Well, many of you could already be familiar with the three brothers. And the three brothers would be Johnny Barleycorn, Johnny Appleseed, and Jackal Lantern. Now, in witchcraft sort of folklore, there are a lot of Jacks and Johns, like Jack in the Green, for example. I do believe that all of these spirits are sort of related to a wider current, and many of them have agricultural ties to the land itself. But when I'm referring to the three brothers, I'm specifically referring to the three that I just mentioned. So starting first in August, that would be around the time of the first harvest. It's when summer is waning and fall is waxing, but we're still kind of in this in-between time. And the first brother that I associate with this time period would very much be Johnny Barleycorn. There is a really good detailed video about Johnny Barleycorn over on the Blade and Broom YouTube channel. Lorelai has done an amazing job sort of breaking this whole archetype down. So I'm gonna make sure that I link her video down below in the description in case you're interested in learning more specifically about Johnny Barleycorn. Johnny Barleycorn's story tells us a lot about his character. And there's even like several different renditions of a sort of like classical song about little Sir John and the Nut Brown Bull. I will try to remember to also leave a link to that song or one of the variations down below in the description as well. Some of the main correspondence that I think about would be like rebirth and resurrection and cycles. I think about hard work and perseverance and determination. Of course, associating him with corn and wheat and beer, I think seems very natural. All three of these spirits that I'm going to be talking about, I mention in my latest released book, Ambrosia's Book of Spirits, available on Amazon for a little bit of self-promo. The Ambrosia's Book of Spirits is actually an extended version of the Spirit Codex in my Witch Flight book, right over here, for more shameless self-promotion. Working with Johnny Barleycorn during the month of August, working with Johnny Barleycorn during that first harvest time, I think is a really good way to connect yourself with the land. For me, as a witch living here in the Midwest of the States, corn is all around us. And the symbology and the correspondence and the magic of cornfields is very pervasive. Like, if you've never experienced it, I don't even know how to put it into words. It's incredibly liminal, incredibly otherworldly, and it's just an experience. I mean, to like wander through a corn maze and just kind of like get yourself lost literally in the corn. Also, corn is delicious. And where I'm from, we even make corn cake. That's how much we like corn. I definitely believe through my work with Johnny Barleycorn that he instills sort of those ethics of hard work, perseverance, rebirth. He's a resurrection spirit. And I get the vibes that out of the three brothers, he's kind of like the very loving, nurturing sort of uncle of the three. And to me, he has much more of like a warm, favoring witches sort of vibe to him. When it comes to attracting things or manifesting, I hate really using that word, but you're following what I mean. I believe that Johnny Barleycorn can be a great spirit to pact with and to work with. So after Johnny Barleycorn in the month of August, that takes us into September, when I am currently filming this now. Second brother of the harvest that I associate with this time would be Johnny Appleseed. And Johnny Appleseed is a little different than his other two brothers because we also have the narrative of John Chapman. But John Chapman, aka Johnny Appleseed, is known for the spreading of apples and the planting of apple trees. There's a strong association that Appleseed has quite literally with the magic of the apple. And apples are an amazing and incredible occult symbol. I mean, there's literally a pentacle inside of the apple, right? Representing the various elements of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. We also have a little bit of a subversive nature with the apple because of the connotation of the forbidden fruit. Even though it's more commonly believed that the actual forbidden fruit was a pomegranate, there is still an association with an apple with sort of the tree of knowledge, the forbidden fruit. We see apples associated with education and learning. We see apples associated in like teachers' decor in their classrooms, and also with good health, like the phrase, "an apple a day keeps the doctor away." I strongly believe that Johnny Appleseed has sort of these correspondence. So centering around good health and knowledge, learning. So if you are currently studying something new, if you are looking to expand your occult knowledge, your witchy senses, abilities, and experiences, or if you are struggling with any sort of ailment, be it mind, body, or spirit, I think that the second brother of the harvest has special abilities, special aptitude for those sorts of workings. I also want to mention, if you are not familiar with the Libby app, I highly recommend it. And this video is not sponsored in any way. And also, I'm not really sure how this applies outside of the United States, but here we have an app called Libby, and it works with our public libraries. So it's completely free with a library card. And if you don't already have a library card, if you go on to the public library website, you should be able to request a library card via email by sending them, I think, your government ID. In Libby, you can access so many titles that the library has, which includes audiobooks. In the month of September and late August, I was actually reading a book that I discovered via sort of surfing Reddit. I am a lover of like folk horror movies and books, and I was really looking for a book that sort of fit this Midwestern Gothic, Southern Gothic, Appalachian Gothic folk horror, sort of witchy, supernatural sort of vibe to kind of get me into the autumnal tide. Came across this book that was recommended by a Reddit user called Before the Devil Knows You're Here. I believe this book is also available on Amazon as well, but the audiobook you can literally listen to for free on the Libby app, and the voice narration for this book, chef's kiss. Before the Devil Knows You're Here is a book that features Johnny Appleseed along with the devil. I won't go into too many details about the specifics of the book because I don't want to spoil anything about it for those of you who may be interested in reading it, but I really enjoyed it. It was kind of silly and even a little bit like quirky and dumb, but like in a playful, fun way. The representation of the devil being like this white man who works at a bank, I thought was really funny. Yeah, if you give that book a listen, let me know what you think. There's definitely sort of a different twist on the story of John Chapman and how, you know, his relationship with the devil influenced his planting of the apple trees. I feel like just like with Johnny Barleycorn, Johnny Appleseed is also associated with the land, and I feel like the apple orchards and the propagation of knowledge and forbidden fruit is very much like a witchy tea if you take the time to sort of read between the lines there. So our final of the three brothers is going to be no other than Jack Lantern. I did make a video about the story of Jack of the Lantern here on my channel. I will try to remember to link that down below in case you are interested in really learning more about him specifically. But in this video, I'm just gonna kind of touch on him briefly like I have his other two siblings. So Jack of the Lantern being associated, of course, with the month of October and with pumpkins. So with the first brother, we have corn, the second brother, we have apples, the third brother, we have pumpkins. I definitely believe that all three of these can be powerful tools in our witchcraft and our sorcery and in our practice. All three of these brothers, again, with Jack Lantern, being connected with the land and agriculture and the harvest. Jack being associated with the end of the harvest, as opposed to his brother Barleycorn being associated with the beginning of the harvest. The story of Jack Lantern is really fun. He's a very clever man. He's supposed to be the man who fooled the devil himself, right? And he wanders the land aimlessly in the search for lost souls with his lantern. Also, the pumpkin with the Jackal Lantern, that narrative is so American witchcraft because before, these lanterns would have been carved out of turnips, and it wasn't really until later that they were popularized to be carved out of pumpkins due to how much more accessible and plentiful those were. The symbol of the jack-o'-lantern itself is such an iconic, modern, like Halloween symbol. When most people look at a jack-o'-lantern or think about jack-o'-lanterns, they're going to associate it with Halloween and sort of the spooky season. And the jack-o'-lantern itself is supposed to trap lost souls, and it's heavily connected to Jack. So I feel like trad witches, if we're looking into this, we could take inspiration of protection magic and Malefica with working with the jack-o'-lantern itself. Using jack-o'-lantern as a symbol in our jewelry, I think could be a really fun sort of twist on the evil eye, repelling negativity or trapping maledictions and alchemizing them for our own benefit. That being said, I do feel like Jack Lantern, as opposed to his other two, I feel like he's a little bit more prickly and a little bit more spicy. And if these three spirits, if we think of them as sort of like uncles in our spirit court, right? I do believe that all three of them favor witches in different ways and can offer us different things. And I also believe that our relationship with our three uncles is going to be very different from witch to witch. Maybe you feel a closer connection with Johnny Appleseed and the month of September, and the history and the knowledge and the power of the symbol of the apple, or one of the other brothers maybe you have more of an affinity for. Me, Jack Lantern is strongly associated with necromancy, with the dead, with the restless dead, so hauntings and spirits that roam the earth, with malefica, with trickery, and with cleverness. I feel like if you are looking to repel or send out any sort of malefic workings, if you are looking for more subversive work, I definitely think that Jack Lantern could be well equipped for that as well. Let me know down below what you thought of this video. How do you resonate with these three uncles of the craft, if you will? These three harvest familiar spirits. Do you work with any of these? How do you work with them if you do? I would love to hear about that. Is there one that you feel a stronger connection or affinity with? Is there a month that you feel more alive in out of August, September, October? Comment down below, let me know. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Your support really does mean a lot to me. If you liked this video, make sure that you give it a like, and if you'd like to see more of me, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you stay notified every time I upload. I think that's going to be it for today, witches. I hope that you all stay well, stay blessed, and blessed be, and I will see you in hell. Bye.
The howling whispers tear at the scars, leaving a broken and vandalized jar. The soul ignited and burns as a flame, turns all to ash with its village to blame.